Hello everyone, it's been quite some time. I've been pretty busy from late 2020 till now. I just started my first semester at university back in fall, and it was pretty taxing on me. I haven't had much free time to make videos, and when I did have time for myself, I would usually spend it catching up on games I've been meaning to get to, or playing through the sea of great games that have came out of this year so far. But here I am today, talking about a little indie game called Save Me Mr. Tako. A review code of this game was provided for me, and I am not being paid to talk about it. All these thoughts are my own personal feelings about the game, and with that being said, let's get straight to it. Save Me Mr. Tako is an indie game created by, and I'm sorry I'm gonna butcher this name, Chris. It was released back in early May of this year on Nintendo Switch and Steam. The game is a homage to classic Game Boy games from the 90s, as evident by the art style and gameplay. You play as a little octopus dude named Tako. Tako is caught in the middle of a war between his own race and the humans that live above, and his main objective is to go on a journey to resolve the conflict that is brewing between the two. Along the way, you'll meet supporting characters that also want to help Tako on his quest. The story, for the most part, is pretty simple. There are a few twists and turns mixed in there, but I wouldn't call it the selling point of the game. The game's aesthetic is really nice. The Game Boy line of system is one of my favorite handhelds of all time, so it's pretty nice playing something reminiscent of those old titles. The game plays like an old school Game Boy side-scroller. Get from point A to point B to finish the level, with some light puzzle and exploration moments mixed in there. The controls feel tight and responsive as they should be. Tako only has two commands, a jump and a action button. The action command allows Tako to perform different types of attacks depending on what kind of hat he's wearing. Along the journey, you'll come across multiple hats that give him different abilities. For example, with no hat equipped, Tako can shoot ink, immobilizing his enemies. There is also hats that grant him a sword, one that allows him to jump higher, a boomerang, etc. There's a lot to choose from. It kinda reminds me of Kirby's copying abilities, even though Overworld is reminiscent of Kirby games. The bosses you encounter in this game are all pretty easy. As long as you have enough lives, you'll have no problem with them. Besides Tako, some of the side characters you meet in the game get their own section where you take control of them. These moments in the game serve as a nice small change of pace after playing through the game mostly as Tako, since they usually play differently compared to him. The game isn't very hard, but it's fine cause not every game I play nowadays needs to be difficult. As long as it's fun, that's all that matters, and I was having a pretty chill time with this title. So yeah, the game is pretty much a standard side-scroller, but I do have a few problems with it. I won't sit here all day nitpicking about every little thing about the game, but here are just a few things that bothered me. Number 1. There is no way to check side quests when you're given them. You're supposed to remember what you're supposed to do in order to complete them. It would have been nice to have some kind of checklist in the main menu to see them. Number 2. There's no way to manually save the game. There were times I didn't know if the game would save or if I would lose all my data if I closed the game. Every game should have some sort of manual save, or else I end up feeling like this.
I just erased everything.
Number 3. The camera angles suck. There were countless times I died to a leap of fate, or I died because I didn't see what was in front of me. The game really wanted to feel like an old Game Boy game with bad camera angles. Sure, you can at least look up and down to see what is above you by holding the corresponding buttons, but I always hated doing that in here. It felt like I had to stop and take my time to just look around. Imagine playing Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on the Game Boy Color, where there were times where you didn't know what was beyond the jump. It's pretty annoying. It would have been nice to move the camera around with the right analog stick or even the shoulder buttons. Regardless of my negative comments, I still think this is a fine game. It knows what it wants to be. A simple platformer with some light puzzle and exploration elements sprinkled in, but I am going to have to give this game a C rating. It's not bad, but I have certainly played better retro-style games. The gameplay feels solid and it's not too hard, and it has a charming aesthetic to it. I mean, just look at this guy. If you can get over the small gripes that I've had with it, such as the bad camera angles, you'll have a fine time with this game. It is a pretty beady game for a side-scroller, clocking in at about 10 to 15 hours depending on how fast you are. But that's gonna be it for this Quickie review. If you've played the game, what did you think about Save Me, Mr. Tako? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button and remember to subscribe. Until next time, later.